Hi, my name is John Moses, and I'm one of the academic advisors here in the College of Engineering at University Park at Penn State University. So the next section that we're going to talk about is entrance to major. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is all of our students come into the college in what is considered pre-major status. So we understand that we are educating students fresh out of high school, and you might not necessarily know exactly what it is that you want to be doing, or you come with an idea of what you want to do and you find something else that you'd never even heard of, and you discover that that's really what you want to be doing. So we give our students the flexibility in their first 2 years to be able to transition between different majors depending on where their interests go during their first 2 years. We don't want students to feel trapped in a major or to take coursework that isn't helpful or relevant to them or delays their graduation. So all of our students start in pre-major status. So if you start in pre-major status and your goal is to get into a declared major, logically there's something in the middle, and that's the entrance to major process. And so the first thing that's important to note is that all of the majors' entrance to major requirements and their process looks slightly different. Here are all of our College of Engineering majors, and all of their processes look slightly different. Some of them are enrollment controlled, some of them are non-enrollment controlled, and that just means that some of them have credit windows and some don't. So I wanted to cover some of the nuances to our programs now as you're looking at which major you're looking to pursue. And so here are a few things that we think it's important for you to know about some of our majors. So the first thing is about our architectural engineering program. And it's important for you to know that this is a 5-year program. It's very intensive, and during your 5 years, you'll get a lot more experience and depth of learning in your field than the other majors will. This isn't a bad thing about the other majors, it's just the architectural engineering requirements. There's some state certifications that you need to get, and so this program is really built to help provide the structure and support for you to be able to do that. A lot of students are kind of confused about the difference between biological engineering and biomedical engineering. Biological engineering more focuses on things related to natural resources, agriculture, and food and beverage processing and food systems development, whereas biomedical is obviously much more focused on the medical field. You'll also note that we have computer engineering and computer science, and a lot of people are very surprised to hear that computer science is in the College of Engineering, but that is where it's housed, so if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place here in the College of Engineering. And the difference between those two programs is pretty simple. Computer engineering more focuses on the hardware side of computer design, whereas computer science more focuses on the software and the programming side of computer design. You'll also see we have a data sciences major. And this is a really unique major because it's interdisciplinary. And what that means is that it's co-owned by 3 different colleges at the university. Obviously, it's co-owned by the College of Engineering, but it's also owned by the Eberly College of Sciences and the College of Information Sciences and Technology. And this is a really unique program. We specifically house the computational data sciences option, and what our program focuses on is the development of software and systems to manage large-scale big data, which is a really big growing industry right now. So it's a very popular and growing major, even though it is new. I also want to talk about our engineering science program. It is the honors major for the college, so there are some additional requirements. There's a higher GPA requirement that needs to be held for that particular major, and if you want to graduate with honors from the college, you have to maintain a certain GPA as well. So it's a really great program that focuses on research, and it includes the development of a thesis, so it's a popular option for some of our students that might be considering graduate work but aren't sure exactly where they want to head for graduate work, because it's a little bit more of a self-designed program. There's more latitude for you to really choose exactly where you want to focus your education. If you have multiple interests in several different areas, it's also a really great home for students that find themselves in that as well. So the next thing we're going to talk about are administrative enrollment controls. And so the vast majority of our majors are enrollment controlled, and there are 3 elements to these enrollment controls. So the first one is the credit window, and this is the case for any of our majors that are enrollment controlled. There's a few that are not. For instance, engineering sciences is traditionally not enrollment controlled, but there is a 40 to 59 credit window for our enrollment controlled majors. And these are only Penn State graded courses. This doesn't include things like AP courses or dual enrollment through other institutions. Those credits are great. They're going to fulfill requirements, but they're not going to add up to this credit window. So even if you're bringing in a lot of credit through AP or through another institution, you're still going to be able to have time to make entrance to major requirements. Okay. There's also required GPAs. These are different for all the various majors, and they also vary based on when you start. So when you're looking at your enrollment controls, you really want to be sure that you're looking at the GPA requirements for your specific cohort year. So if you start in this summer or this fall in 2017, make sure you're looking at those GPA requirements, because it's very likely that they're going to be different from past cohorts. There are also entrance to major courses. There are 6 of them for all of our majors, but they do vary slightly based on your intended major. But all of them, it is required that you get a C or better in the course. So, a lot of students ask why GPA requirements are different. And basically it comes down to an issue of supply and demand. We have really high demand for a lot of our majors, and we only have so many resources, so many faculty, lab spaces to be able to accommodate all of those students. And so we set these GPA requirements so that the departments have some form of control over how many students are entering into their programs. So at the end of every year, the department will come together and determine whether or not those GPA requirements need to be adjusted based on how many students had been admitted to their individual programs. So what that means for you is that the GPA requirement that you have this year is not going to change. Once you enter, that GPA requirement is set. So you could have a GPA requirement of a 2.6 this year, and the requirement for next year could go up to a 3.2, but your requirement will stay at a 2.6. So these things really have anything to do with industry demand, or how good the program is, or how hard it is, or the placement rates of our students. In fact, biological engineering, which only has a 2.0 GPA requirement, has a nearly 100% placement rate for its graduates. So it's a really good indicator that GPA requirements don't necessarily mean that you're getting into a superior or inferior program. So here are the entrance to major courses. As you can see on the left, the vast majority of our majors all have the same coursework. So Math 140 and Math 141 are the Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 courses. As you can see, whether you're an engineering major, a computer science major, or if you choose to pursue data sciences, those courses are required for all of our majors. The next 2 sets of courses that I'm going to talk about are Physics 211 and Physics 212. That's the mechanics and the electricity and magnetism courses. So our engineering majors and our computer science majors all require that, but you can see that data science doesn't require those. Instead, they require Statistics 200 and IST 210. And Stat 200 is just a simple elementary statistics course, and the IST 210 is an organization of data course. As you can see back over in the engineering majors column, we have Chemistry 110, which is just a basic chemical principles course, and then the Math 250 or 251 is differential equations. The difference between those 2 courses is one is a 3-credit version of the course and one is a 4-credit version of the course. And it just varies depending on the particular program and what their specific needs are and the proficiency that you need in differential equations to be successful in the later coursework. But you can see in computer science, you do need to have Computer Science 122, which is intermediate programming. And although it's not an entrance to major requirement, that means that you'll need to have credit for Computer Science 121, which is the introductory programming course. So that's an important thing to note, that there's a prerequisite before you even get to one of your entrance to major courses in the computer science curriculum. You can also see in computer science that they require Math 230 as an entrance requirement, and that's Calculus 3. So it's just a continuation of what you had been learning in Math 141. And then with data sciences, you can see that they have 2 computer science requirements as well. They have an introductory and the intermediate course. So that's kind of what the entrance to major courses look like. So it's important for you, depending on what you want to do, to make sure that you are getting those individual specific entrance to major courses